Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 7, and today we are returning with the big doubleheader with our Lions as we take on West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup quarter-final away at the Hawthorns, and then Nottingham Forest at home in the Championship as well. Before we play those games though, show you how Mill have been getting on off camera. So of course, in the last episode, you saw our big 1-0 victory at Craven Cottage as we beat Fulham in the last 16 of the FA Cup, and then our 0-0 draw at home to Sheffield Wednesday. I then played 5 games off camera, and it's been a little bit of a mixed run really. We were on such a good streak, and then sadly it ended straight after that game against Sheffield Wednesday as we lost 1-0 at Pirelli against Burton Albion. A very poor result for us, a bad defeat, didn't play too well, and well, just not a good result at all, losing 1-0 away from home. And then a 0-0 draw at home to Sunderland wasn't a great response either. So no wins in our last 3, 1 win in our last 5. And it wasn't a good little streak. But we responded with a big 2-1 victory away at Hull in the next game at the KCOM Stadium, where Ben Thompson gave us the lead with 23 minutes to go. Lovely little delicate chip. And then Tim Cahill scored the goal of the season. I mean, it was so good, it's worth about 3 or 4 replays. He's only come here for a year. We know he's leaving to LA Galaxy. But what memories Cahill's left us with this season. And this one, one of the fondest we'll have. It was an extraordinary volley in off the underside of the crossbar. What a goal. That put us 2 goals to the good. And whilst Andre Green on loan from Aston Villa did give Hull a consolation goal with 10 minutes to go, we held on for the 3 points, and what a big victory that was to get back on track. And then following that, we responded with another big win, 1-0 at home to Brentford in a London derby as we took on one of the informed sides this season, where Cahill missed a penalty in the first half. He won it, then he missed it. But as we all know, Tim Cahill, such a resilient, persistent, determined character, wasn't going to be demoralised by it, and he made amends 19 minutes after the restart, getting on the end of an Aidan O'Brien cross to make it 1-0, and that was how the game finished. So big 3 points there, back-to-back goals for Tim, but sadly we couldn't make it 3 wins from 3 like we should have done as we took on Barnsley away at Oakwell. Right now, rock bottom of the table. Certainly fancied our chances heading into this game, and Gregory scored. Lee Gregory finally scored his first goal since the start of February against Reading at the Daysky Stadium, heading in a Jed Wallace cross. Was it Wallace or Marshall? I think it's Marshall actually, and making it 1-0. But sadly we couldn't hold on to the 3 points as Barnsley did get an equalising goal, and that was how the game ended up finishing. So 1-1 the final score, and as you can see, no losses in our last 4, and only 1 defeat in our last 7. It's not been a bad run of form one bit, but that was a big slip up there away at Barnsley. It does mean in the Championship right now, there is still a chance we could make the playoffs. We're still sat in 12th place right now. All the teams above us do have a game in hand as well, and whilst we're only 4 points behind Derby in 6th place, it is so tight right now in the race for the playoffs. I would say that 5th to 12th right now, Norwich to Millwall, that's the picture for what teams can make the playoffs. It is so close between so many sides. It's crazy how tight it is as we come into the final stage of the season. But speaking of positions, Nottingham Forest, who are our opponents today in the second game, I just want to show you this. They have been in 22nd place since the start of the year. It's, the start of December even longer. It's been crazy. They have not moved 1 position up or down since the 9th of December and match day 21. That's unbelievable. But that's our second game today. Our first is, of course, the big one. West Brom away at the Hawthorns in the FA Cup quarter-final as we try and get to Wembley in my debut year as a professional manager. I'm just realising as well, I didn't actually advance to the kickoff, which is going to be at 5:30. But either way, it's West Brom at Hawthorns. I'm doubtful, but there is a bit of optimism based on the fact we knocked out Crystal Palace at home. They are a Premier League side. We knocked out Fulham away at Craven Cottage in the last round. Obviously, with the underdogs heading into that game as well. So there's definitely no reason we couldn't pick up another underdog scalp here. But we know it's going to be very unlikely. Burnley are into the semis. They've beaten Stoke by 2-1 in extra time. And of course, don't forget, there is no replay in the quarterfinals nowadays. Great decision by the FA. And that means we won't take them back to the den if it finishes 0-0 or otherwise, just to score or draw after 90 minutes. So this is our team for the game then. We stick with the 4-4-2 and our normal instructions that work out so well for us right now. I am not changing this until we go into a really poor run of form. I am so bad at tactics in FM, but this is working quite well. And this is our team. David Martin in goal, our cup goalkeeper, in the back for Meredith, Hutchinson, Shackle and Marlon Romeo. With Ferguson on the left, Wallace on the right, and in the middle, Tunnicliffe and Williams up top together. Lee Gregory and Steve Morrison, the captain. On the bench, Archer, Cooper, McLaughlin, Thompson, Marshall, Cahill and O'Brien. First game, West Brom away. It's the FA Cup quarter-finals. Come on, you Lions. Let's get to Wembley. For those wondering about the West Brom form, I probably should have showed you it right now. They're sat in 15th place in the table, so not doing quite as bad as they are in real life. But they have lost their last 2 games, only 1 point picked up from a possible 9 in the Premier League. So, yeah, there's definitely cause for optimism here. And there's no reason why we couldn't come through a big scalp. So I've not motivated anyone in the... Oh, God, I'm just not going to say anything else. I've already confused and demotivated 2 on my back 4. That's brilliant. So we'll put the auto instructions on for the opposition. And here we go, FA Cup quarter-final. I'm so surprised we're here, by the way. I did not expect it one bit. The league, as it always is in all of my saves, either career mode or FM, is always a top priority. And I did not expect it at all. But to get here, great achievement. And if we can get to Wembley, it'll be a bonus. We don't expect it, but that'll be an incredible feat in our first season. So we are coming towards the closing stage of the first half, and we're still deadlocked at 0-0. West Brom had a lot more of the ball, but are yet to do anything with it. 7 shots, 1 on target, but no clear-cut opportunities and no highlights at all. Both our midfield duo through the middle of the park are both on bookings now. That's a bit of a concern. But do you know what? At the moment, we're doing enough to keep the Baggies at bay. So I'm not going to say anything at the break because that always jinxes you when things are going okay. And they've made one change themselves at half-time. Johnny Evans coming off, I assume, due to a little knock in the first half. But as things stand right now, yeah, we're doing okay. But right on cue, there is a highlight, and the first one of the game to the Baggies. Jake Livermore finds Morrison. His shot is deflected, but it will drop to Nasser Charlie, who'll keep the ball in play. But Romeo's there to win it back, but then lost it instantaneously. Now, Zeka cuts inside, and he is tackled by Steve. Well done, captain. And maybe a chance for us to break down the right-hand side. Here is Jed Wallace with a lot of green to run into. Loads of space for Wallace. Gregory's in the middle. He'll aim for him. Gregory's header denied by Ben Foster. But Lee Gregory turns in the rebound. He's had a miserable 2018. But this is a moment that will put a smile on every single player's face. 1-0 to Millwall. And Lee has finally scored in the FA Cup for the first time, and it's a massive goal as we take the lead. Gregory's header fumbled by Ben Foster, but he's first to latch onto the rebound, and the Lions take the lead. The Hawthorns, we're no stranger to cup sets, as you've already seen, and we're going in search of another one. Come on, Millwall, but highlight directly after the goal. And it is going to come to the hosts who try and respond instantly. Krychowiak picks the ball up and finds Jake Livermore. And Livermore into Morrison. Morrison back to Livermore. And Jake now back to Morrison as these pair play a couple of 1-2s. Now Daniel Sturridge receives it back to Livermore as West Brom look for an opening in what has so far been a really structured and organised back four. But here's Neon crossing. Shackle heads clear, but straight to Krychowiak. And now Morrison. And it's cleared again as we still lead by a goal. Come on, we need a resilient effort here at the back if we're to hold on to this win and reach Wembley. Daniel Sturridge through to Salomon Rondon though. Out wide towards Neon. And the right back crosses, and there is Rondon with the header, and there is the equaliser just a few minutes after Gregory gave us the lead. Rondon so hard to stop in the air. Neon knows that, that's why he aimed for him in the centre. And West Brom's number 9 gives the Baggies the equalising goal. Nice little build up that, Sturridge into Rondon out wide towards Neon, who returns the favour, gives it back to the South American, who heads it home after losing his marker past David Martin, who has no chance. West Brom 1, Millwall 1, and our lead did not last very long. And there is another highlight here right after the goal. A very action-packed start to the second half, but sadly this highlight comes to the West Brom again. It's Chadley on the ball finding Rondon. Now Daniel Sturridge down the right-hand side crossing. Hutchinson heads clear, but straight to Krychowiak. We're having to withstand some heavy pressure here from the Baggies. It's Jake Livermore through to Morrison. Rondon is there, taken down, and that is a definite spot kick as Shackle brought him down. I don't think it'll be a red. No, it's just a booking, I think. But a chance for Krychowiak to give the Baggies the lead in their first of the tie, and they've got actually with Shane Ferguson, not Shackle, and that will do it. West Brom 2, Millwall 1, and the Baggies in front for the first time. Comfortable penalty from Krychowiak. Martin did guess the right way but couldn't keep it out. And I thought it was Shackle that brought him down. Oh, must have been a booking for complaining for Shane Ferguson then. But it was a definite spot kick. And now as West Brom come from behind to lead with half an hour to go, there's still time for us to get back on level terms and force extra time. Come on, lads, keep the faith. Morrison to Gregory. And Lee finds Jed Wallace. Wallace Ferguson. Gregory, oh, where have you been? Where have you been, my friend? Lee Gregory bags a brace, his first of 2018, and 2 goals in this big FA Cup quarter-final tie. See a really topsy-turvy second half, swing one way and then the other, as Lee Gregory gets us back on level terms. 2-2, what a thrilling, fantastic quarter of an hour this has been. West Brom 2, Millwall 2, and it's Gregory with his second of the game. Well, the first half was atrocious, so I think all of the 22 players at the break said to themselves, right, it's about time we started putting on a spectacle, and now you're seeing it, 2-2, and a highlight directly from kickoff as Dawson launched it long, and Rondon could latch onto that, and he's done so. Rondon down the left-hand side, hits once already, finds Krychowiak, the 2 goal scorers linking up, now Morrison on the ball, plays that wide towards Matt Phillips. And Phillips down the right, crosses, Rondon 3-2. Extraordinary second half so far. Rondon does what Gregory's done, and that's bag a brace. And the Baggies restore their lead instantly as it's now 3-2. Nice little move from West Brom there. Alan Pardew's side knocking it around nicely. Matt Phillips finds the space on James Meredith to whip in across. And Rondon in the centre, totally alone, heads it past David Martin. And once again, West Brom are in front, 3-2. So Steve has not played too well out there, so I'm going to bring on Tim Cahill, and I think I'll bring on Thompson as well for Ryan Tunnicliffe for more energy through the middle of the park as well, as we still trail by a goal. But with 16 minutes to go, there is a highlight here. And if we can get the ball and get a chance, I'd trust us, based on Gregory's good goal-scoring touch today, to find another equaliser. But instead, it does look as though it'll come to the host. But no, there is Thompson off the bench to win it back and find Cahill. The subs linking up. And now Ferguson played out wide. Meredith running on the overlap. And Shane is going to slide him through. It's the Aussie down the left who crosses. And at the far post, Waters comes in. Cahill, oh! Tim Cahill, big man for the big occasion, but not on this moment, as he fires a golden chance wide and should have at least hit the target there. And that might be our final opportunity to find an equaliser. So as we approach the final whistle, I've made my third and final change, but I don't think it's going to matter as I drop Cahill down and play CM with O'Brien coming on. He's not played badly of late, but I think that is going to do it. And the clock is about to strike midnight on Millwall's Cinderella story. The FA Cup run is going to end for the second straight year, one stage away from Wembley. And we've been knocked out in the quarterfinals by Premier League opposition away from home again. But you know what? We gave it a valiant effort. We took the lead. We came from behind to get back on level terms. But unfortunately, we were beaten by the better side. Full credit to Alan Pardew's team. We are out. And our FA Cup adventure ends there. But I'm going to calmly say, we were the underdogs out there, and you gave it your best. Good effort, lads. And most of the players are delighted. And for Gregory as well, player of the match, and I'm delighted with that too. He's played so poorly in 2018. And that was really great to see him bag a brace there as well. But we're out of the FA Cup. That's gutting. But you know what? Now we can focus all of our attention on the Championship as we aim for a playoff push. And obviously, I'm disappointed, don't get me wrong. But that was much better than expected. You know, if you were to tell me that we would have knocked out Crystal Palace in the South London derby in the third round, if you were to tell me that we would have knocked out Fulham away at the Cottage, considering how good they've played this season, and also to give West Brom a really good effort as well in a quarter-final tie away from home, I would not have believed you at the start of the season. So that's not a bad run. And to end there, obviously, is disappointing. But I'm surprised the board confidence is not higher for that. I thought that was a really good run in my first year as Millwall manager. But there is now an international break. There are no games next week in the game as Manchester United knock out Chelsea in that quarter-final tie. So what we'll do is we'll go straight through the calendar to the next game, and that is Nottingham Forest at home as we go in search of hopefully keeping our slender playoff dreams alive. Oh, actually, do you know one thing I can do is I can go ahead and show you something which some of you might be interested in. Now, of course, every single year in Football Manager, you get a youth intake, and some new gens come through your academy. And some of which turn out to be okay, most of which turn out to be absolutely rubbish. But we've had our youth intake that happened, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, at the start of March, I think it was, and we haven't really got anyone really worth talking about. There's a couple of players that could be okay. Glenn Pond, a young attacking midfielder who could be alright in this team, but the standout was this guy, Marvin Brito, a young striker who, obviously no stats jump out at you straight away, just 15 years old. He's 6'1", and you know, the potential suggests that he could be alright in the future, could improve a lot in the future, according to Adam Barrett, our coach. But that's it. Like I must say, if you've not followed me in my Football Manager saves on YouTube, then basically I rarely ever get good youth players from the intake. Sometimes I get someone decent. Sam Redmond is the best I've ever had. He was a defensive midfielder in my Swansea save. He turned out to be really, really good. But Marvin Brito is the standout from our first year. And when I say standout, I mean no one else stands out. So we'll just pick him out. But anyway, that's our youth intake, and not great as we always expect. So second and final game of today's episode then, as we've now gone past the international break. And there was something quite interesting as well. Jordan Archer just got his first 2 caps for Scotland. I'd love if he plays on Friday night against Costa Rica and wins his first in real life. Archer's such a good little goalkeeper, man. I didn't actually think much of him when he first came in, but in fact, he's totally proved me wrong, and a really great number 1 for us. But anyway, enough of real life chat. Let's talk more about the game, because right now it's taking on Nottingham Forest in the Championship. As you can see, Norwich plays on Friday and lost at home to Fulham, which means that heading into the game, we have a game in hand on the Canaries, and if we win it, we'll cut the gap to just 4 points in the race for the playoffs. And whilst our goal difference is a massive hindrance, we'll be putting the pressure on, and hopefully those Canaries will be feeling it. So Nottingham Forest at home, as they have a chance to get out of 22nd place for the first time since December. Let's see if they do it. Hopefully not. So this is our team for the game then, 4-4-2. Oh, Romeo's still away, isn't he? Romeo's on an international duty, and we shall make sure that we'll have a fullback on the bench. That'll be Toffolo. And this will be a team for the game then. So 4-4-2, same instructions despite the loss to West Brom. And this is our lineup. Archer back in goal. Back for Meredith, Hutchinson, Cooper and McLaughlin, with Ferguson on the left, Wallace on the right, and in the middle, Ben Thompson and Sean Williams. And up top, Lee Gregory bagging a brace in the last game, and Steve Morrison the captain. So on the bench, Martin, Shackle, Toffolo, Tunnicliffe, and Marshall is there as well. Tim Cahill and Aidan O'Brien as well. So yeah, second game, it's not in the Forest. We need to win to keep our playoff dreams alive. Let's go get it. Come on, you Lions. Don't really feel like draws at this stage of the season are going to be enough, especially because of our goal difference record. You know, being so poor right now, that puts us at a massive disadvantage, especially due to how tight the table is. So we need to win these games. And when we're at home, when we're against relegation-threatened sides, draws are going to feel like defeats at this stage of the season. So big game here, and hopefully we'll get the win and get revenge on Nottingham Forest after we lost to them way back at the start of the season in the first episode of the series. So come on, you Lions. Let's get our first highlight. Let's get our first goal, and it may well come here 14 minutes in. Costel Pantilimon launches long a goal kick towards Velios, but Hutchinson wins it in the air, but sadly it'll drop straight to our visitors as moves like the Jagger finds Dow, and Dow plays it out wide towards Chris Cohen as Forest keep hold of the ball and play it long, but there is Meredith to intercept a very hopeful long ball to find Lee Gregory, and our first chance good for here. No, poor pass, and I've jinxed it as Forest get it back. I tell you, there's really long highlights in this year's FM. You just never know who they're going to come to. It may well come to Millwall just a little bit later than we expected. Meredith across towards Sean Williams, and Williams through towards Wallace. Out wide is McLaughlin. There acres of space, but instead Wallace goes the other direction to find the Aussie, and Meredith finds Shane Ferguson. Ferguson slides it inside. Gregory taken down, and a penalty for Millwall, and a chance to go in front 15 minutes in. Now it's going to be Sean Williams that will take it, not Gregory who won it, but a chance to get ourselves in front. Go on, Sean, tuck it away for our son. Yes, drills it home, and there is the first goal 15 minutes in. A long time coming since the highlight began, but hey, we'll take it better late than ever. Williams with a goal from the spot, and Mill will go in front. Sean stands up confidently and smashes it home past the big Romanian and into the back of the net. Millwall 1, Nottingham Forest 0. And again, these games have to be wins. Draws will virtually be defeats as we try and keep our playoff dreams alive. So great to get the first goal. Now let's get a second and relieve some pressure. 32 minutes in, but another highlight this time might come to the visitors as Velios is sent forward and Archer beats it away. Well done, Jordan, as he turns it behind for a corner. Still 1-0. It's been a balanced first half despite us having the lead. And as things stand right now in the table, as you can see, we are going to be cutting the gap to 4 points. But as Kieran Dow goes for goal, Jordan makes the save. It is so tight right now. The league table just disappeared, but it's so tight right now in the race for the playoffs. I mean, it's crazy how so many teams still have a chance of making the top 6. And we still keep ourselves in with a chance, and we'll have a good chance we can win this game. Come on, you Lions. Conor McLaughlin on the ball, down the right-hand side. Slides it into Jed Wallace. Men in the middle. One's Morrison, the other's Gregory, who couldn't go for it. And Forest escape. I think that was a clear-cut chance. It was indeed, but Lee couldn't connect, and Nottingham Forest escape. Decent first half this though, still leading by 1. I want a second goal though to really give us a cushion. So Ben Brereton's come off the bench for Nottingham Forest at the break. Those of you who watch my Aston Villa career mode will know he'll be one to watch in this second half. Hopefully we'll keep him quiet and he won't bag a brace to watch Nottingham Forest complete the comeback, Aston Villa-esque. And here he is on the ball with his ears burning and Archer denies him. Really good save there, thank goodness, as Ben almost right on cue gave Nottingham Forest the equaliser, still 1-0. And we've got Archer to thank for us still leading this game. A couple of great saves so far. 17 minutes to go, another highlight for Millwall. Come on, let's wrap this game up here. Williams receives the loose ball and finds Jed Wallace. Back to Ben Thompson. Out wide is James Meredith in space. Ferguson could be slid through there, and he is. Shane on the ball. Crosses. Wallace at the far post turns it in, and that may well do it. A wide midfield duo linking up as Shane is just about to be replaced for Toffolo, actually, down left-hand side. But I think I might actually cancel those changes right now, because that was a lovely assist there by Shane. And it's a goal for Jed Wallace at the far post that puts us 2 goals to the good. And we had to win this game. A draw would not be enough. Nottingham Forest going to remain in 22nd place probably for the remainder of the season, based on how the year has gone for them. But this is going to be a big, big victory if we can close it out. Millwall 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Well, we are waiting for the final whistle to come any second now as Jack Cole back on the ball finds the Jagger, who shoots and fires it over the bar. And that should do it. And there's the full-time whistle. Millwall 2, Nottingham Forest 0. A really good defensive display after shifting free at the Hawthorns. As we get the win, I'm going to calmly say, well done, lads. That was a good win for us. Everyone is delighted. And I am delighted to know that as we come into April, there is still a chance we could make the playoffs. Now, it's still looking very tough for us with 7 games to go, being the lowest placed team out of these sides still competing for a top 6 place, especially because we've got the bad goal difference record as well at -4. However, that's a big win. That still gives us a chance, and you never know. It's been a great season regardless of what happens come the end of the year, but I've been paid $8 grand. Lovely stuff. But this is a big, big victory for us, and with just a few games to go, it is still possible. So that will end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So big thank you for watching, and hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated, and it will help the channel out as well. We shall probably have 2 more episodes remaining in the season then, if we don't make the playoffs, but more if we do. So what I'll do, I definitely want to play that Sheffield United game away from home, but Bolton right now are struggling, so I don't really see the point in playing them. So what I'll do actually is come back for probably the final 4 games of the season then. I'll play these 3 games off camera: Ipswich, Bristol City, and Bolton away, and then Sheffield United at Bramall Lane and Fulham at home in 2 massive clashes as we try and keep our playoff dreams alive. So thanks for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love, enjoy your night, and I'll see you for the penultimate episode, possibly, hopefully not, of my Football Manager season in this series very soon.